don't think I fully understood what this show was when Sam asked me to do it. But I'm pleasantly surprised. I heard, I was on vacation recently. I went to Costa Rica. Thank you. It was so fun, and I went with one of my girlfriends. It was just the two of us, because our other friends don't have money yet. So, just the girls. And we stayed at this resort, and we wanted to go dancing one night, and so we told the staff, like, we would like to go dancing. Could you please call us a car? And we're talking to a staff full of men, and they were like, you want to go out alone? And we're like, no, we have each other. We're fine. And they're like, but you're just two women. Like, do you need a chaperone? Should we send a man with you? And we're like, nah, brah, we're good. And they kept pushing it. And one guy in the staff was like, well, I guess you have to learn lessons the hard way. And we're like, okay, cool, and left. And it didn't faze me in the moment. We left, went dancing, found strangers, did drugs, and made it back safely because we're adults. But I thought about that moment, and I was like, why wasn't I worried? I feel like 24-year-old me would have been worried and been like, oh, maybe we shouldn't go out alone, or maybe we should have a chaperone. But me now, I'm just like, whatever. And I think I wasn't worried to learn my lessons the hard way, because I think I've already learned my lessons the hard way. I'm a woman over 30. I've lived in New York for almost 10 years. If you're looking to scam me, you're too late. I've been scammed, bruh. I've seen it. I remember when I first moved here, I was walking down the street and I passed by a storefront window for a psychic place, and there was a woman sitting in the windowsill looking out, I guess a psychic, and she saw me and she goes, and I was like, she needs me! And I skipped in there, and she sat me down and she goes, I have something very important to tell you. It's imperative that you, of all people, have this information. I could read it on your face. You need to know. And I'll tell you if you pay me $25. And I was like, people keep saying New Yorkers aren't helpful. They are! You just gotta pay them. I feel like I spent most of my early 20s being like, what? They were lying? I just didn't get it. I've been scammed out of money, sex, my time. I used to live in Greenpoint, and I was hanging out at a bar, and I was flirting with this guy, and we were really hitting it off, so I brought him back to my place, and he gave me the impression that we were going to hook up, but as soon as we got into my apartment, he instantly fell asleep. And it took me 2 days to realize that he worked in Greenpoint, and he lived in Harlem. So he just wanted to wake up closer to work the next day. I've been scammed, bruh. And I feel like people are like, are you proud of this? I am. That means I never have to experience these things again. I've already learned my lesson, and when they come up again, I can actually, handle it better. For example, one time I was walking down the street by myself, and a guy asked me for the time. Pulled out my phone, looked at it, looked back up, his dick was out. Learned my lesson. I don't tell anyone the time anymore. Oh, what time is it? Time for you to go fuck yourself. Fool me once. My name is Sasheer, and it's hard for a lot of people to pronounce. And by a lot of people, I mean white people. And I don't want to make it a race thing, but numbers are in. Studies have shown that the demographic that consistently gets my name wrong are Caucasian. I did this show once, and the host was white, and probably still is. And she couldn't get my name for the life of her. She kept saying Sasheer or Sahir and moving letters around in my name and attacking it like a Sudoku puzzle. And I was like, it's fine. You can call me Sheer for short if you can't get it. And she looks at me and she goes, "Can I just call you Jane?" And I was like, "If you want to give me a slave name, you can't do that. Just change someone's name for the convenience. Is this Roots? Are you trying to Toby me right now?" And every time that happens, I want to get so sassy and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, my name's too ethnic for you. Sorry you can't fit all that heritage in your little lips." But I don't really have a right to be angry in that regard because my name doesn't come from any African or island culture. It's from Star Trek. My parents were Trekkies. And they were really into Trekkie culture. My mom found the original script where my name comes from and realized that my parents accidentally misspelled my name. So my mom showed me the script and she goes, "Do you want to change the spelling of your name? Just for accuracy purposes." And I was like, "No." I was 20 years old when she showed that to me. It was way too late. And I was like, "Also, are you trying to Toby me right now?" But I didn't like it. I didn't like having a name from Star Trek. I really wanted a name that connected me to my culture, like the name of an African country or a tribe or something. But then I got older and started to realize I have no need to feel that way because my name does connect me to my culture and it reminds me that I'm part of an even smaller minority, Black nerds. And our struggle is real. What do you think has to happen in a person's life to make them want to buy eyelashes for their car? You've seen these, right? What is the purpose? Who is it for? Is it for the driver's amusement? Do they walk up to their car every day like, still a face? I wear fake eyelashes when I want to feel sexy. Are the owners of these cars trying to make their cars sexy? And again, for who? Are all the cars with eyelashes being mounted by all the trucks with truck nuts? Just in the parking lot when we're not looking? Also, truck nuts. Why? Like, what? Is that like a reflection of society where we're like, if my car's a girl, she's gonna have pretty eyelashes and makeup. And if my truck's gonna be a boy, he's gonna have nuts. I also don't think nuts are the appropriate body part to display strength or masculinity. That's the most vulnerable part of a man's body. They're sensitive, they're thin-skinned. If you hurt them, they shut down. Those are the worst qualities of a man. Like, no one wants to be associated with those. If you want to show, like, strength and virility, you should show that you are adaptable and that you have endurance and that you are warm and open and multi-layered, like a vagina. Don't get truck nuts. Get a snatchback. I've been thinking about kids lately, like if I want to have them. And I've always been ambivalent to that idea, but now I'm getting older and I'm starting to ask myself questions like, when would I have them? Where do they come from? What do they want from us? But I know I can't have kids right now because I can barely take care of myself. I tried to feed myself bad chicken the other week, knowing it was bad. And there were so many steps in the process where I could have stopped myself, but I just kept going. I opened the fridge, and I took out the container, and I opened the container, and I smelled the chicken, and I was like, this may have gone bad. And then I turned the heat on the stove, put a pan on there, and then I picked the chicken up out of the container, and it was a little slimy. And I was like, that's not how I bought it. And then I put it in the pan. And then the heat was wafting this dank smell into my face. And I was like, oh, that does not smell appetizing at all. And then I put it on a plate. And then I cut it in half, and it was like a little gray on the inside. And I was like, that probably shouldn't go in my body. Then I put it in my salad. And I took the first bite, and I was like, oh, this tastes as bad as it smells. And then I swallowed it. And I just kept repeating that motion until the salad was gone. And as the last bite hit my stomach, I was like, I beat it, I won. And my body was like, no, girl, and I threw up. In the toilet, not on the floor, because I'm a lady. But I think that's a good reason for why I shouldn't have kids right now. Could you imagine if I did that with a baby? Cut it in half, it's all gray on the inside? No. I deserve a fresh baby. All right, thank you, babe.